So today, we're going to talk about something that honestly feels like it's straight out of the future. It's a new physics engine that's so fast, so stable, it's a total game changer. Let's dive in and see how they pulled it off.
Okay, so picture this. You're a digital artist working on a massive blockbuster movie. You've just spent weeks, maybe even months, getting every single strand of a character's fur just right. You finally hit play to see your masterpiece in motion, and kaboom, the simulation just explodes. The whole thing, as this quote says, just falls apart. And this is a real, grueling, super expensive problem. Artists often have to go in and fix this stuff frame by painstaking frame. It's a nightmare.
But what if you didn't have to worry about that anymore? What if there was a physics engine so tough, so robust, you could throw literally anything at it and it would just work? Well, a new research paper is out with a method that does pretty much exactly that. The results? Well, you gotta see them to believe them. So, check this out. On the left, you've got a state-of-the-art method getting hit with a simulated Category 5 hurricane. And I mean, yikes. It just completely disintegrates. A total mess. But now look at the right. The new method. Under the exact same insane force, it's still standing. It bends, it breaks realistically, but it doesn't just explode. It's completely stable. It's just wow. And this is where my jaw kind of hit the floor. What you're looking at isn't just some flat sheet with a cloth texture slapped on it. No. That is a piece of cloth made of 65,000 individual strands of yarn, and every single one of them is being simulated in real time. The level of detail here is it's absolutely mind-boggling. And it's not just for small stuff either. It scales up, big time. This is an afro hairstyle with almost 1.5 million points, or vertices. Now, you have to understand, most game engines would totally cheat here. They'd simulate maybe a few hundred guide hairs and then just kind of make the rest follow along. But this new technique, no cheating. It's calculating the physics for the entire thing all at once. And here's the real kicker. You want to know how long it takes to simulate all 1.5 million of those points? 7 milliseconds per frame. For context, real time is usually around 16 milliseconds for 60 frames per second. So this is more than twice as fast as it needs to be. It means you could actually have this level of detail running interactively right in a video game or animation software. It's incredible. So to really put this speed into perspective, take a look at this. The old method here for simulating the slinky was considered state-of-the-art just 8 years ago. The new method is, wait for it, 45 times faster. Let me say that again. Not 45% faster, 45 times. That's a leap you almost never see in this field. It's a huge, huge deal. Okay, so we've seen these unbelievable, almost magical results. The big question is obvious. How? How is this even possible? How did they pull off such a massive jump in both speed and stability? Well, the problem with the old way of doing things is what you could call a mathematical car crash. See, these older systems try to solve for two things at once: where an object is, its position, and how it's turned, its rotation. And trying to do both at the same time is really, really hard. If you tell the simulation to jump too far forward in time, the math just breaks, and you get those explosions we saw earlier. The only way around it is to take these teeny tiny, super small steps, and that, of course, makes everything incredibly slow. So, the new method has this totally brilliant approach. Let's use an analogy. Imagine building a brick wall. The old way is like laying one brick, putting on some mortar, waiting for it to set, then laying the next one. It's slow, right? But it's precise. This new technique, it's like putting all the bricks in place at once, roughly where they should go, and then just spraying the whole thing with some kind of magical instant drying foam. Poof! The whole wall is built in one shot. It's ridiculously fast and super stable.
Now, of course, the actual technical term for that instant foam is, well, it's this: a split position and rotation optimization scheme. Yeah, I know, right? It sounds super impressive at a dinner party. But honestly, our brick wall analogy is all you need to know. The secret sauce is they stop trying to do everything at once. They handle position and rotation separately, and that's what makes it so fast.
So, we've established this new method is way faster, way more stable. It's a revolution. But is it perfect? Is it the right answer for every single problem out there? Well, like with any big breakthrough, there are always a few trade-offs to think about. That whole instant foam approach is fantastic for speed. But here's the catch. By dealing with the position and rotation separately, it's making a tiny assumption that they don't really affect each other within that one super fast step. Now, 99.9% of the time, especially for movies and video games, you would never ever notice. But In some really weird specific cases, like a knot being pulled tight incredibly fast, that assumption can cause a tiny, tiny loss of perfect accuracy. So it really just comes down to picking the right tool for the job. If you're doing, say, super high-precision scientific work or maybe simulating a delicate surgery where every single micron counts, you're probably still going to want the old slow and steady method. But for pretty much everything else, especially in the world of entertainment, yeah, this new technique is the hands-down winner.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and think about the big picture. What does a breakthrough like this really mean? Because, it's about more than just making cooler-looking hair in video games.
And this, for me, is the best part of the whole story. The researchers behind this, they didn't patent it, they didn't lock it away. They published their paper and they released the source code for free so that anyone, anywhere, can use it and build on it. That is the collaborative spirit of science at its absolute best, and it's just awesome.
One of the creators summed it up perfectly with this quote. When you see technology that can do things that were basically science fiction just a handful of years ago, and then you see it being given away freely to the world, it's hard not to feel that sense of awe. Seriously, what a time to be alive. And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about. This huge leap forward didn't happen because of a faster computer or more processing power. It happened because of a smarter idea. A totally new way of looking at a problem that's been around for years. And it just makes you wonder, what other impossible problems out there are just one clever idea away from being solved?